You won't last long anywhere in the multiverse without a few basic things. A trusty sword, a full water skin, and some iron rations. So today, on our second episode of Quester's Heroes Feast, we're going to be replicating the iron rations recipe from, this would be the second recipe in the human section of the book. So this recipe asks for different types of cheeses or nuts or different dried meats. You could use salami or jerky. There's a lot of different ways to change things up that can kind of make it suit your personal tastes, which is a lot of fun for a recipe like this. In that regard, though, you'd have to be very careful about food allergies. Make sure you choose something for your particular set of iron rations that isn't going to cause any sort of adverse reaction, like your throat swelling up.
Is that why your voice sounds different?
No, that was a bit of an accident I had this morning. So this recipe is really very simple. There's not a whole lot of cooking involved. I already have the ingredients, I just have to mix them together, probably in a big bowl. But because of that, I decided we're going to do a bit of a QCE, a Quester's Compliant Experiment. So in Dungeons & Dragons, generally, your standard adventuring party can travel about 24 miles in a day, being sustained by nothing but your trail rations, which according to the book would cost about 5 silver pieces. So we're going to go on a little bit of a walk. We're going to take a 24-mile walk, eating nothing but this all day, and see how it goes.
Wait, what?
Anyway, we made it out here and we're walking, and I'm realizing now, having stored all of the food in this bag, that it's actually kind of heavy. So the faster we eat, the easier the walk is going to be. I've got with me some traveling companions, you being one of them, willing or not. And this here is Pete the hooligan. He came along too. And yeah, so we're just walking. It's been a journey. What was I talking about?
Why are we going 24 miles?
According to the player's handbook, you can go about 24 miles at a normal pace, whatever that means. 30 miles at a fast pace, but you get a -5 penalty to your passive perception scores. So if we were to just go really quick, we wouldn't be able to take in the scenery. But at a slow pace at 18 miles, you're able to do so while stealth. I don't think we'll be doing, actually we might inadvertently be doing that today. Maybe not the stealth part, but maybe the only making it 18 miles part. So, we'll see. It's been like 15 minutes. It's pretty bleak out here. How are you guys doing? Great, that's
How is it?
what a cool job. It's dry.
Think it'll last 24 miles?
I got another bag inside. So, yeah, I don't One recipe is supposed to be for 4 servings. My question is whether or not that's supposed to be something equivalent to 1 day's worth of rations, all 4 servings, and 1 day together, or if it's supposed to be 1 serving, supposed to be a 1 day's ration.
Maybe it means all 4 Alder Ambermead.
What is that?
Ah! You can see up here they've got some signage on the bottom of the bridge. Right there, flood channel, stay out, stay alive, because one of the modern marvels is being able to share information like this. It says no swimming, no boating, no camping. You see, no swimming, no boating because there's no water. That one's pretty obvious. And then no camping because this is oftentimes a place that can be attacked while you're camping out on the road. It's important to find a safe place to camp. As you can see here, we've got some thieves' cant. You have to be careful now. I'm no rogue. I can't read thieves' cant. I don't know what that says, but it could be anything. It could be, what is it, Pete? Yeah, you're a hooligan. What did that say?
Farts.
Is that like code for something?
Oh no, it's just really funny.
God damn it, Pete. It's a little known fact that Dwarven architecture is known for their pristine acoustics. It's also a little known fact that dwarves are excellent opera singers. Even out on the trail here, it's possible to find side quests. You never know what can be seen, so you gotta keep an eye out for a kitty cat named Augustin. A neutered brown tabby. All right. Hear that, Pete? Keep your eyes peeled.
Find him.
Good. I'm sorry to report that, what are we at, 5.3 miles?
Something like that.
Something like that. We've lost Pete and Caitlin. They've got to turn back. They've got other duties to attend to. So for now, it's just me and you. Just the 2 of us. That's it. The fellowship is broken. It has been 8 miles, about 3 hours now. I think we're making an okay pace, at least that's what your fancy smanchy computer box said. Because mostly, I'm just sore on my shoulder. I'm switching the little bag back and forth. Yeah, my knees are a little stiff, and I'll probably have blisters on my feet at the end of the day, but I think I can keep going. How about you?
I think we're looking good.
All right, well, let's keep going. We're at 11 points. How far?
11.3.
11.3 miles. So we're almost halfway, and then we'll be turning around and then walking back. The bottoms of my feet are okay. Feeling my toe. My toes are a little sore, like the tips of my toes. I think it's probably should have gotten some shoe inserts or something like that. We still haven't gotten through half the rations because now we have double servings for the both of us because we lost 2 of our members, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get to the 12 miles, we'll turn around, we'll come back. I'll probably sit down again when we pass by this bench because it's a nice bench sitting in the shade. And yeah, how are you feeling?
Feet are feeling good. We can make the 24.
Yeah, I think we can do it. I think it's possible.
I mean, we never thought for a second that we couldn't.
No, of course not. No, we were
You do this
absolutely gonna
all
make it
the
whole way.
time.
Yep. I'm not an adventurer. I'm just an NPC. So I don't have to go walking around like adventurers do, 24 miles in a day. But it's possible. It's definitely possible. Day after day, I think so far in regards to the food, the wheat crackers, in this case Triscuits, are incredibly dry and force you to drink even more water than you normally would. The apricots, the dried fruit, great. Fantastic. Just have that all the time. That's great. The jerky, fantastic. The cashews all sank to the bottom, so we're just gonna have a lot of nuts when we get to the bottom of the bags. Just a ton of nuts. So yeah, we've also got the spare banana because we lost, Caitlin and Pete the hooligan. So Caitlin didn't have her banana. I got an extra one of those. And cheese. Still got cheese. I still haven't finished my cheese yet. Got two more pieces of cheese. Okay. You see the tree? I do. This is a special tree. Crafted by the Druids of Orange County. You see, trees like these only bloom in areas that have no water or rain for about 95% of the year.
It's official. We're at the halfway.
We've done it. It's 12 miles. So now all we have to do is the exact same thing in the opposite direction. There's a stretch there that was very flat and very boring because all we had to look at was this canal. Yep. We're gonna go back down that way and start walking back. And if we make it back all the way without having to call for help, then we will have walked 24 miles as would be required of your typical adventuring party in the D&D multiverse. So let's go. As you can see, the sun, look at the sun, look at it. The setting is because we've come to the end of our journey and we've done it. We've traversed 24 miles in a single day by foot. My hips don't work no more, and I'm actually leaning quite heavily on my walking stick. At the beginning it was just something to hold on to look like I'm holding on, like I'm walking with purpose, but honestly it's actually supporting a lot of my weight. I think my hips are mostly out of whack because I decided to use a side bag, and we'll go over the logistics of the do's and do nots of attempting to walk 24 miles without prior experience or training. So yeah, it's at the end of a long day. How are you feeling, Amos?
My feet don't work.
Your feet don't work. Your feet don't work, my hips don't work. But we still made it nonetheless. I don't know if I'm going to be able to feel my legs tomorrow. So we'll find out.
How are you feeling,
I'm
Deckard?
gonna do child pose. Oh, just my thighs and my calves, and for some reason my toenails. So it's done. We've done it. And once again, to maintain authenticity, I'm going to eat nothing for the rest of the day, except for, of course, our rations, because the idea is we're out on the trail. So I had some coffee this morning and rations. 5 silver. As it turns out, this recipe came out to about 5 silver and 7 copper. So $57 US. But it's actually pretty close to the price that it would be in the player's handbook. But in this case, it was supposed to serve 4, which it probably would. I don't know if it would be the same calorie count as having, say, 2,000 to 3,000 calories per serving for those. I don't think it has, but it definitely has more than 3,000 calories for just the whole recipe of all 4. So if I were to finish this thing, as we lost 2 members along the way, and Amos and I split what we had of this, but we didn't touch the other bag. So there's more. And a banana and cheese. So I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. So this is our little review. We're done. Some things we learned was that let's see, water is worth the extra weight. Absolutely, every time. And if you can find water sources along the way, then all the better. We were able to find a fountain, which could serve as the equivalent of finding a clean spring or river that you could refill your water with, and something like that. You know, refill your water skin. Water, great. Water, fantastic. Choosing what you carry your inventory with is very important. That's not something that's exactly addressed in Dungeons and Dragons, but something you need to pay attention to when you're walking around in real life. How you carry your stuff. A stylish bag like this, for example, this little satchel I used, was not the right choice. It put a lot of strain on my hip and on my shoulder, and even though I kept switching it back and forth, it did not really help. 2 straps for your shoulders, weight across your back, great. 1 strap on one shoulder, weight on hip, bad for long periods of time. Don't do that. Finally, in regards to carrying the rations or carrying your things in general, like I mentioned before, the recipe was stated to be able to serve up to 4 people. In our case, we lost a few of our party along the way. So we only had 2 people left, did not finish all the rations. Otherwise,
it was quite heavy. It was a lot of food, and it wasn't just the weight, it was the volume. So keeping that in mind, I am going to reevaluate every time someone walks into a general store and asks for 10 days worth of rations, because that's a lot. It's a lot of space. So unless you're packing a bag of holding, which could hold about 64 cubic feet, a space about 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet and up to 500 pounds, or Heward's handy haversack, which I believe has an 8-foot large container. The large pouch on the haversack is 8 cubic feet, so that would be a 2 by 2 by 2. Unless you have one of those, it's actually a bit unrealistic to think you could carry around 10 days of rations, which I never really thought about. So we live and we learn. It was a fun experiment though. I would say I recommend it. I don't know if I recommend it for everyone, but I am very happy I did it. It gave me new appreciation on how far adventurers can travel consistently day after day, with more than just the rations. So every time you're stuffing a grappling hook or a 50-foot length of rope into your pack with maybe 5 torches strapped to the side and a bedroll on top, and you're wearing full plate armor, good luck.